And so the book of Leviticus, if you've not read the Bible before, you read it and it feels a bit random and a bit foreign, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like you're kind of like, how are we jumping from rules about how to dress wounds and how to clear infection to then rules about cooking and rules about who you have a relationship with and who you don't? It's like, you just, first you can be like, wait, I don't understand what God's doing here. Yeah. But actually the common thread, just like you're saying, is God knows what's best for us and is actually calling us to, like, one, he's revealing what his standards are, but two, he's inviting us into that so that we can thrive.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like, what stands out to you when you think about Leviticus?
Well, what comes to mind very quickly for me is, right, that when it talks about unclean and clean, right, it's not talking about the moral code, right? It's not saying when something's unclean, it's not saying that's morally bad or morally wrong or like disgusting, because I think in a way that could be taken out of context in so many ways, right? I think a lot of non-Christians and even Christians who are really not understanding the point of Leviticus can take some of the scripture and say, oh, this must be sexist, or this must be, you know, this or that, and this must show that God is really concerned with things he shouldn't be concerned of, right? But I think ultimately what it is God knowing who we are, knowing what we need, and then also knowing the culture of the time. Right? Like, it's so important that we read Leviticus with an understanding of who it's been written to, which is, you know, thousands of years ago, you know, Hebrews who are living in a time where they're surrounded by people who are worshiping gods, right? In that worship, there is the sacrifice of children, the sacrifice of babies, right? There's the mass prostitution of, you know, for the sake of worship, that sort of things.